Welcome. Embrace the shadows. Welcome. Embrace the shadows.
On everybody, EBM Worldwide, how you doing? Hey, Jen Dagger, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to say a couple words because obviously we have our special guests here, Sin and Ammo from Malice Machine. Thank you, Jen Dagger. They've been gracious enough to join us here for our first launch of Dark Entries to the Second Circle. And thanks a lot for Chris EBM, from EBM Worldwide, for making this happen. We've been wanting to do this for a while, and having this show to really connect with awesome underground musicians that deserve to be able to get the exposure and have us be able to understand why they're making music. So this is a great opportunity for all of you to get to know these amazing artists. And this one in particular is really exciting to me. I was really excited when I saw it come up because the album that came out, when I first heard it, I was floored because I hadn't heard good new industrial for a long time that was industrial. As I process it in my mind. And with all of that said, I want you guys to say hello to Sin, Ammo. I was like, wow. Tell me, I'm new to you, so assume everybody there is too. Where did you guys come from? Where did you start?
Well, originally Long Island, New York. We just kicked around there for a long time as a drummer bass team, just in and out of different types of things. And we just latched onto industrial and, and we spent probably years just finding people that we could, click with to, achieve goals in that type of music. But, ultimately in the end, it was, it just wound up being her and I, because it's just hard to keep a band together, and we were the two focused individuals in most of the bands. The other people had so many other things going on that it never clicked with an entire band. So we wound up doing it by ourselves, and I wound up playing, learning to play guitar, and didn't want to be a vocalist, but couldn't find a good singer, so wound up doing it myself. Yeah. That's the case with a lot of people. It's hard to keep people. Well, we've known each other since basically we were kids. Yeah, we've been together for a long time, and she's always been a drummer, and I was always a bass player, like I said, and we just drifted into the industrial scene. I just love the rebellious nature of it, more than most other music. So, yeah. Sure. Um, the chaos. Yeah, I think the chaos was really what attracted me. Once I heard Nine Inch Nails, it was all over. Yeah, it was just all over. I knew exactly where I wanted to go, and I'm sure industrial has gone up and down. As far as popularity, at least here in the United States and New York. We just kept sticking with it. No matter whether people were digging it or not. It's just the music we just really were attracted to.
Right.
And still are.
And still are. Yeah. Clearly. Holy cow. And Ammo. Your drums. Holy crap. I mean, maybe I'm speaking at a bit of ignorance, but it is really refreshing to see a live drummer doing some industrial, right? And doing it well. And you're a killer drummer.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Tell me about that set, because it just slays me the first second I saw it.
Well, it's just put together from pieces of I got some Pintec toms and trying all different triggers. I have a Pro Mimic Pro, is the brain, and I don't know. I just have some stealth, Gibraltar stealth, rack system, and it just looked badass, and that's what it was made to be. So,
yeah, she's awesome like that. She's the tech person. Like I'm the kind of the creative side, and she's she just builds our computers. She designs the things. I mean, it's really impressive the things she can do. That I can't. She's just technically minded more than
Amazing.
Me. And I think that's why we work well together.
Yeah. I was just, when I saw that set, I was like, what am I, look, that is really cool. That's pretty cool. I think it adds a layer, at least to me. It seems to add something special. A quality that is maybe, I don't know, maybe you can tell me, but it seems like sometimes it's missing with that quality in the rhythm, in the beats per se of some tracks.
well, I guess
Having that human element that you guys have.
yeah.
Yeah, she's the one that if she initiates everything. Drum. She comes up with the drum beat, and everything gets. That's why her name is Ammo. She provides the ammo. With batteria, I think it is. Is that what drums? But anyway, she initiates the songs. Everything we do, she comes up with the beat or designs a drum program or plays it. And everything that we write, comes from that. I never really write something first, like a guitar, bass, or keyboard line. It's always initiated by her.
Wow.
Yeah, the drum parts are. I write them out first. Really, that's what I program the drums. I just come up with ideas. Sometimes I'll just jam on the drums and come up with some interesting beat, and I'll record it and start messing around and work with sounds, and I can get any sounds I need to trigger. So that we can have any sort of sounds that'll fit whatever mood or inspiration that we have. So
yeah, that's the cool thing about her set. Not a lot of electronic drums are capable of you can't put your own sounds in. A lot of them are they're exclusive to their own sounds, like Rollin drums.
Yeah, your limited presets.
Yeah. She designed it where we can just take anything from any of our songs and program it in. So that worked out pretty good.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. So it's never an issue for you guys. Like, no matter what you do, playing live is just.
Yeah. Whatever we want to put in the drums, we can, achieve it. It's like a distorted kick, which is notoriously hard to do. Distorted drums, she can do it with this kit, you know, more than like an acoustic kit could, or a you know, a Rollin production kit, let's say, you know. Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. That is that's pretty awesome. Like, what's the, I mean, I've listened to you, I've gone back, older tracks, new tracks. Maybe walk us through the evolution, or maybe, yeah, let's do that first, and then maybe we'll listen to one of the new tracks. Yeah, the evolution of how you got to, you know, first Malice Machine to Corpse Painter.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was really attracted to like heavy guitar industrial.
Yeah.
Like that was something I learned to play guitar, you know, I was always a bass player, but I felt, you know, guitar was definitely a Ministry, you know, influences. So I felt guitar was the thing to be a heavy, you know, just searing guitar band.
Yeah.
But, you know, we started, you know, I found that, you know, I really enjoyed programming as well, just synth lines. And,
yeah.
They started taking over, you know, like for the new album compared to the last one, was more heavy guitar, and has drifted more towards synth stuff, and even going further for the next album, which is coming out. I just found I can achieve the power and, you know, the nastiness, like distortion and stuff, with noise and synths sometimes, and I didn't really need to do guitar, you know. And also the fact that it's so splintered between like people that listen to like agrotech or electronic music won't really be open-minded to guitar stuff, you know, and maybe even vice versa. So
right. Absolutely.
I made a choice, you know, to go more electronic, and that's probably where we're going to go for now.
Yeah, because as I've mentioned to you guys and anybody that's been listening to the Second Circle of streams on Friday when I'm spinning some tunes, Corpse Painter's been a pretty hot topic. I'm it's one of my absolute favorite songs of the last year, and I think, well, maybe I'll treat everybody to Corpse Painter. You know, what do you guys think? Should we give them a spin, or do you want to start with something else? And we'll
it's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. All right. I think we'll give Corpse Painter a go.
Finally people. I am a human being and I kill human beings. I am like the dark inside your head. He's ripe and free when he's dead. Cut away this festering dead. Violence and kill it all away.
Right on, man. That it gets me every time. Yeah, that's a festival of stomp. What do we got happening in the chat here? Such a fantastic track. Where was that one? This is lit. Yeah. So what do you guys? Would you? And Dead would like this too. Told you. Yeah. When you guys released that, did you think that particular song might be one that was gonna?
No, not at all. Yeah, it was just like at the time it was just a one-off.
Yeah.
She came up with the beat, and I was like, man, this is like, really kind of dominating everything. I tried to put tracks to it, like synths, and I realized the best thing to do is just stay minimal, let the drums do the work, and it just worked. I realized that we might have latched on to something that we might continue doing a style like that.
Yeah.
Might evolve into that. We seriously talked about it. We felt that maybe maybe it was a little different than typical, like if there is a typical industrial sound.
Well, some might argue that they're starting to be, so that's refreshing. It's awesome.
Cool.
So corpse painter, do you want to share the motivation behind it, or?
Sure. I used to be a caretaker and a live-in handyman in a funeral home.
Okay.
For like 2 years in Amityville, Long Island. We both lived there on the top floor of a mini mansion that was privately run.
Yeah.
So I was around them a lot, and I watched them work on the bodies, and
Okay.
it probably came from somewhere there, but it's really more about it's metaphoric.
Yeah.
It's just sacrificing yourself to a serial killer.
Okay.
More or less,
Yeah.
willingly, but again, it's metaphoric.
Yeah. Could be
it's
just about anything.
Yeah. There's I have other reasons why I wrote the lyrics.
Right. Everybody's got their
Mhm.
their demons.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And I have plenty.
Fair enough. And ammo. That tune. It's all the beats.
Yeah, it was just meant to take your head off. Really, that's what that song
Yeah.
was.
Melt my face.
Yeah.
It was worse at one time. The snare I couldn't even put on headphones because the snare would just like blow my head apart. So I really toned it down with EQ and trickery.
It's funny. Yeah, you just mentioned snare. That's I think that's part of it. That's part of the uniqueness, because snares are kind of forgotten about a lot now.
Is that a fact? I guess maybe you're right. Thinking about songs.
For sure. That's the
used to pop out a lot in the 80s, I think. Big snares.
Yeah.
But not so much anymore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
I think a lot of people are using acoustic kits, so not that you can't get a great snare, pop out of a snare, but you certainly, with adding distortion and to an electronic or a folder drum, can really just really like take your head off.
Yeah. Awesome. And so leading up to that, the last album, like when you first put this together, were you did you already kind of know where the direction you were going in, or was it kind of like, when you kind of finish the songs, you're kind of, this is what we do?
More like that. Those songs from Digital Scars, that album, it took a long time to write them because I was still developing some sort of style, and like I was influenced by so many bands, that the songs, they're very mixed up on that album. They have different feels, different, even genres. And like, I was disappointed in when I finally did it because it was a span of a couple of years writing it, and learning how to mix and master. I mean, mix and engineer. I felt the songs didn't have a coercion. They weren't. Like the new album was written.
Flow,
yeah, the flow wasn't there to me. I mean, some songs worked together, but other songs just sounded like they didn't belong on the album. As much. But this album we wrote fairly quick. And it sounds like it was written at the same time. I believe. I mean, I could be wrong.
Right. Well,
I mean, I feel better about like how fast we can get things done now.
Yeah.
Like our new album is getting done really fast because we're getting.
You guys are falling into
the
a bit of
writing
a
process.
Flow? Yeah. You got a bit of a flow down, like a.
Yeah. I think you would agree that flow is important.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you force something, it sounds forced. Like, and
absolutely. And something about having that flow in how you go about writing, and you find you write better because you're not worried about technical stuff. You're just writing.
Unfortunately, I am the technical. I switched over to a new computer.
Oh, okay.
Like you were telling me that you got a new.
Yeah.
Still, it's like moving into a new home. And I have to use like new programs because the programs from Windows 7, which is what I was using, don't work so well in Windows 10. So I'm forced to learn new programs, and I'm just confused most of the time, trying to figure out how to do something that I used to do right away, like this or that. Now it's like, how do I get this to do that?
Oh, and the programs that you were using are.
And it's like slowing down my writing, my flow.
Yes,
but I'll get through it.
I sympathize so much with that.
For sure.
And what about you, Ammo? You like that you're kind of developing that flow, or are you struggling with that same computer?
No, I pretty much use one program to work things out.
Yeah.
FL Studio, which is basically a drum machine. And like I said, I'll hook my USB up with my drum module. Sometimes I'll just write things and come up with ideas like that, and then just work on them.
Nice.
She uses a different computer than I do.
Yeah.
She built like a lot of computers. We have them all over the house.
You do.
So,
that's pretty awesome. Nothing like having a computer in every room.
Yeah.
Right on. So, your earlier bands, metal or?
Never metal, really. I mean, I think maybe I was in one metal band as a bass player for a short time. It's just not a music that really, I mean, I appreciate what it is and what people do with it, but it just never really appealed to me as much. I was more like, I never thought guitar should dominate a song.
Gotcha.
And that's what appealed to me about Nine Inch Nails. He never treated guitar. I mean, Robin Fink and Trent mostly he programmed a lot of guitar. Just mutated guitar sounds and stuff, which I thought was real cool. I really like melody and letting things breathe. And guitar and metal, you don't really get a lot of chances with guitar players playing.
Not a lot of space.
Yeah, I love space. Just emptiness. Is really works sometimes.
Nice. So, we discussed a bit, and you had mentioned, and I've seen it written on some of the reviews that that angry, so on and so forth.
I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have the greatest life. I mean, Um, not to divulge a lot, but like, you know, I like to think what I write is honest. You know, it's not
Okay.
just, it's exercising demons, which I'm sure as a musician, you know,
Mhm.
like to get rid of, you know, so I don't go out and do it to people,
Right.
you know,
Yeah. Sure.
you know, I just, you know, I think music has just saved me from probably being in jail. You know, my father was like, he was a junkie, he was a heroin addict, and you know, I was an only child, and life with him was pretty brutal.
Mm.
You know, he was also in the Pagans motorcycle gang.
Ah.
You know, so he wasn't the best guy. He was in and out of
Yeah.
jail, and like, you know, it probably shaped who I was. You know,
Mhm.
and like, if it wasn't for art, you know, I learned to focus the anger, you know, in that direction. You
Okay.
know, and stay away from, you know, doing bad,
Yeah.
you know. And so far so good.
Yeah.
I learned to be a lot more at peace with myself, you know. And as you get older, you just realize so many things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hold on to the same things you did when you were like 18 years old, you know. I mean, but I don't think the anger will ever really go away because of just so many bad things that have gone on.
So you
So
correct it.
yeah, and that's where, you know, it'll stay, you know, one
Mhm.
way or another. Even if I couldn't do music, I'd find another artistic outlet, you know,
Mhm.
express it.
Yeah. I think that's a huge driver of an awful lot of art. You know.
Mhm.
That's that's for
Anger
sure.
or pain, you know,
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
drove so many musicians, you know.
Well, and I think you raised a really interesting point, and I mean, and obviously everybody has their take on things, but you pointed out like as you get older, you kind of realize you can't hold on to the same things, but the you know anger is still there, or the resentments, and some of the ways that your thinking was shaped, that all stays there. So it's like, how do you let that go and move on and take steps? And one day you end up taking responsibility for yourself because you can't always say it's because of this. So you go, well, so I think that's
Can't
pretty
use
good.
that as a crutch forever,
Yeah.
you know.
So
I mean, it's time to let things go,
yeah.
but there's always new things to be angry about.
Well, of
You know,
course, but it's
um,
interesting because, as you point out, it doesn't go away. But it's great. You got to find that outlet, and here you got the music, right? So,
yeah, yeah. I also do stop motion animation. Um,
oh no way, eh?
yeah, yeah.
How about
Very
that?
seriously, you know, with like armature puppets and things. I'm doing something for Malice Machine. I'm on like scene 190. It
Okay.
turned into this epic kind of thing, but it's gonna feature Malice Machine music
Okay.
in stop motion film.
Oh,
You know,
that is really cool.
yeah.
I wonder
So
if we have any
see how it
Star
goes.
Wars fans on here. They'd be pretty excited about hearing about that. Yeah. But yeah, tell me more about that. What's this?
I've always been fascinated with stop motion animation. I just
Okay.
love. Maybe it's about the control.
Yeah.
Um, More like yeah. I mean, like in the last bunch of years, movies like, you know, Corpse Bride and Nightmare Before Christmas. You know, I started really wanting to get seriously into it again. I used to do it when I was younger, um, and it's going really well. I mean, I just, you know, I'm really developing my skills at it, and I have stuff on, you know, Facebook, little clips of from
Right
the
on.
film. You know, uh, it's yeah, I enjoy it. It's very therapeutical. Another thing that keeps the anger kind of
Right.
down. It's just the discipline of moving one little thing at a time.
Right.
You go into the zone, and
I had a friend that dabbled with lots of that when I was young,
oh,
like in my
yeah,
teens, and yeah, I was fascinated with the patience it took.
yeah. I developed a lot of patience from that. You know,
Mhm.
just being really hours go by. You know, and
Yeah.
just to complete a scene that's maybe like, I don't know, a minute long.
Wow, you got to be
Yeah,
pretty zen
yeah. It is. It is.
for
Um,
sure.
Yeah. So that's my other side. I you
Yeah.
know, it's really keeping me peaceful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And Emma, do you have another side? Are you all percussion?
Yeah, currently I'm pretty much just putting it all into drums, percussion. I do help out. I like the technical
Yeah.
aspect of things. I like figuring out the programs.
Got it.
I'll help him try to figure out
Yeah.
programs we need or building sets and
Mm-hmm.
technical stuff, things with the
Mhm.
camera.
Okay.
Yeah, she set this all up.
All this,
you know, she-
building the computers. I've
Mhm.
done all that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much I love technology, and
Yeah. See,
that's
you like
a
the
passion of mine. So
tinkering.
yes,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. For sure. There's something therapeutic about that as well. I like tinkering with things. I'm not very good at it, but it kind of let you kind of exit the current whatever processes, and I don't build things terribly well, but I enjoy trying.
it's like solving a puzzle. It's
Yeah.
it's a satisfaction with that, figuring stuff out.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty awesome. Nice.
Yeah, she fills in the gaps that like I don't. I have patience to do stop motion, but I won't have patience to like read a manual about a piece of equipment,
Mhm.
and I'll just be like, "Ammo, can you come down here?" And she'll figure it out. She has the patience to sit there and work it out. I mean,
Mhm.
people on my part, but like I said, I'm just purely creative, and she's extremely. She's creative and very technical. So
That's
yes.
it's quite a
Sometimes,
match. That's awesome.
yeah.
How cool is that? And it's pretty cool to have known each other for so long too. I'm just gonna grab a little honey muffin here because she wants to hang out with you guys too. Say hi to everybody over there too. Oh yeah,
Good dog.
All right. So I think we should maybe play another tune, another track, get some heads bopping. You guys have one you think I should go for next?
Your choice.
My choice. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Prototype by the way, was mixed by John Beckler from Ministry.
Okay.
Yeah, he was involved in our album,
Okay.
the keyboard player for Ministry.
Yeah.
He lives a few towns away from us, and we just hooked up. Heard about us and gave me a call one day.
Yeah.
Because he liked what we were doing.
Yeah.
And his hands in the album.
Yes.
A track of maybe 2 or 3 tracks. He's contributed. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, well, before I play that, maybe tell me a bit more about what that was like. I mean, was it intimidating at first, or?
At first, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like he's a rock star, I mean, pretty well known Ministry.
Yeah.
I was really flattered that he liked us, and he was actually a silent member in Malice Machine for a short time, but he just didn't have the time. He has a lot going on in his life and doing a lot of things. So he wound up just like working on tracks with us, like he did the keyboard line to Dead Circuit.
Okay.
There's a line in that. He came up with that.
Okay.
That was a great contribution to us with that song. But like, I was the bass player in his original band too, False Icons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were playing some gigs. He was getting us. It was easy for John to get gigs.
Yeah.
Not so easy for us. But and then the whole COVID thing struck and killed everything.
Everything kind of.
Yeah, False Icons sort of faded a bit, so no longer playing bass for that band. But yeah, I mean, we were very involved with each other, cross projects and yeah. So, but he's got a lot going on now, so we don't really associate as much anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's everything ebbs and flows, but certainly all those interactions, they have takeaways and things that you learn and bits and pieces.
Right. You know, like we were going to go with him, like they were going on tour. It was called the Industrial Strength Tour. He was going to kind of bring us backstage at some events, you know, whatever we got to meet like Bill Lieb.
Yeah.
And, you know, at the time, Frontline was involved in it, Frontline Assembly, and KMFDM.
Yeah.
And none of it happened because of this whole COVID thing. It all got killed. And it's killing us.
Yeah.
It's killing
musicians, man. I think everybody's hoping to see that kind of wind up or wind down or whatever way you want to put it. Because there's
time to live, man. You know,
it's affecting artists big time, especially if your bread and butter is live shows, right? So,
yeah. We haven't played in like almost 2 years now. You know, I mean, was it 2? Has it 2?
It's probably 2 years.
Yeah, since this struck. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't got. I mean, we had some great gigs lined up. You know, an event called Stimulate with Chris Smack. You know, I was just emailing him. You know, we were just talking on the phone. He said he's a well-known promoter in New York that has some huge events. He was just saying that he can't. They're dead too. It's all dead. You know, it's hard to get anything going. You know, right now for a lot of bands. You know. But like you said, I hope it passes. You know, I hope we. That's the hope, and we'll all hang in there, and hopefully we can all use the formats and the platforms that we have to kind of use this time to kind of spread ourselves around so people know about us. So when we come out of the gate, you come out with people that are more aware, more known, you have a bigger audience and all that kind of stuff. So. We're focusing on virtual stuff right now. Like we're about to do like most of our songs live and just, video it, like for virtual concert stuff. I mean, right now that's the best we can do.
Yeah, I know that.
I built a stage for us. Yeah. We have an entire stage.
You built that, Ammo?
I did.
Yeah. Yep. It's in the Restrict video. She built it by herself. Yeah. By herself. I played video games while she was building it.
Well, no one will ever accuse you of being dishonest, man.
Yeah, she kind of likes doing things, but if I offer a hand, she's just like she becomes like a general. So, so I'd rather not.
No, that's awesome. Actually, I know Chris EBM was on earlier. If you're still on, Chris. Because I'm sure Chris would be interested in hosting a virtual concert for you guys for EBM Worldwide. Yeah,
that'd be I mean, it's kind of keeping us going. Hope for some
for sure.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Hope.
Yeah, because they've been helping so many people. Charities and causes, people in the scene that have needed surgeries and had no coverage, all kinds of cool stuff, right? So
that's really cool, to put himself out there to
like all of those.
A lot of people they're suffering worse than we are,
It's kind of like it's kind of like personal demons. Everybody's got them, and they're very, very intense and real to them. So
I still try to keep a humanity. You got to. I mean, it's not always easy, but you have to kind of care about your fellow human being to a certain degree. I mean, we all need each other, in one way or another.
True. Very true. And with that, I think we're gonna jump into a prototype here. Give everybody another listen. All right, this is Prototype, and as Sim was saying, had a little extra flavor from Ministry on this one, and here we go. So amazing. Sorry, I have it on loop. I'm not sure what that tells you, but yeah. So, prototype. What's the driver?
Yeah, Animal came up with it, just did a beat, and I threw that bass line down, and she talked me into using it. I really didn't feel it was going to work.
Right.
I felt it was a little minimal, and I really, maybe too simple. But I guess, as I worked on it, I started believing in it a little more. The more I put it like sounds and noises, and it started shaping, and yeah, it's that simple. I really didn't think it was going to work at all. I wasn't going to bother with it. Just very, it just sounded so minimal and, basic. But, I guess it panned out in the end,
Emma?
I think we were just trying to really work on our strengths, which are drums and bass, and that's basically what we were going for. I think with this album more than our first one.
Right.
Also, we were. I think we wanted to simplify.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Good point. Yeah, the first album,
easy to digest and just just simple and comes across and in a way that I don't know, we just express ourselves, is what we love.
I think the first album was a little complicated at times. I mean, too many parts.
Okay.
Jumped around a lot. That was something we really needed to do, is get simpler. And do more of a build-up method.
Okay. Yeah.
And industrial has always been about that, the build-up method. Having a vibe and then building on it.
Yeah, it's true. It historically, it certainly wasn't, about theory and so forth. It was certainly about raw emotion and how those things came together, for sure. Yeah. I
don't know, like how you used to write, when you first started writing, but I found I wrote things way too complicated. I mean, I was just over ambitious, and the songs would just be crammed with different parts. And as time went on, we learned to simplify.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's still something I fight with. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's finding, you and I had a bit of a discussion on that, finding the space.
Right. Yeah.
Finding the space in the song.
Right.
Because that's what creates the movement, right?
Right. Exactly. The groove and the hook, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
that's
a thin line too, being too catchy and, entering a pop realm almost,
without writing a jingle.
Scary. Yeah. Got to know when to, say this might be a little too catchy or too refined.
Absolutely. It's like I don't know. I guess we could say someone like Slayer, you're not say a metal fan, but it's amazing how you just take someone like that. It's just chaos, and then all of a sudden they find the space. Everything slows down. They find the space, and there's that hook and that groove that suddenly just makes you move your head, right? Like it's like
it's just like I think we also mentioned that when we were talking about that. Slipknot, is really good for that. They're just amazing at chaotic to really melodic, and it's really the singer, that's the. But not a big, like I said, metal fan, but I appreciate stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I see we got a question that has come in, and let me see here. Yes, I have a question. If they haven't already answered it, what bands would you put yourself in the same vein of? obviously you were slated to tour with FLA, but they'd be interested in some of your personal ideas of where your sound fits. And then they follow up with, it has an old school and new school flavors. We were actually talking about that offline.
Most reviews gave us that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they'd be so interested to hear what your answer would be. So there you go.
Well, it's hard to say where you don't really want to sound like anybody else, but you can't help your influences either. For a while I was really focusing on sounding like Trent, at a time in the past, and then I realized, well, that's suicide. So I think the influences are the obvious ones. I mean, I love KMFDM, I love Nine Inch Nails, I love Ministry, I love Agrotech. There's so many different types of industrial that I love and have been influenced by that I can't really say any particular band. I love FLA and Nitzareb and just like all the classics. I mean, I really love old industrial.
Yeah.
I find new industrial is like lacking something sometimes. I'm not putting down anyone. I'm just saying, like, there's almost like sometimes it's a little sterile to me. And maybe I don't have the right to say that, but I just didn't want to be that. So the best place is to go to if you're gonna and be influenced, it's definitely the older stuff. There's so much great oldest wax track stuff. And that's really where I was really influenced.
Yeah.
Old wax track.
Yeah. If wax tracks doesn't put a smile on your face, I'm not sure what will.
Really? They had so many great acts that weren't even known, really. I mean, they just get it. There's just so much.
Yeah.
Never stop hearing new stuff on wax tracks.
Yeah.
That was a big influence.
I did see a funny meme. It was longing for those days of wax tracks when like the same five musicians or whatever it was made 20 bands.
Like even Al Jorgensen, he was in how many different projects?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was very fertile, at that time. Not so much now. I'm kind of disturbed about, like, in the industrial scene is the lack of unity.
Yes.
Don't want to work. I mean, everybody's competing with each other, and I've experienced it dealing with certain. I won't say, but like, I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not trying to say we're certainly not better than any. There's a lot of great bands out there, a lot of great acts. I'm just looking for allies.
Yes.
Really, that's all we are.
That's to me, that's the secret right now, and in the middle of all of this is people working together and lifting each other up. Yeah.
I mean, like remember the hardcore scene? Bands supported each other. They were all very friendly, and they I don't find that in the industrial scene as much anymore, if it ever was there. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had to. I just stopped talking to people because I found they were just like competing with me or like threatened by something, and I just kind of gave up trying to associate. And now I just, whenever I meet somebody that I can really talk to, I appreciate it a lot, like you.
Yeah.
And,
well, thank you.
Fox,
and I do understand that. It's, but I have to say, I actually, at least so far, this time around the wagon, for me, I'm finding there is more openness between people, and people are, helping, and maybe it's because of the conditions, because of COVID or whatever it is. But I find the scene as a whole is more cohesive and working kind of together. Mutually together to kind of hold itself together and grow. Obviously, there's always going to be, people that aren't, that are too good for that, I suppose. But for the most part, And it's been amazing what I've seen happen on Twitch. Just everybody banding together, supporting each other, coming out. So it's pretty awesome.
Well, I'm certainly not saying that there aren't people that are like willing to be open minded and
Yeah.
work with you or talk to you.
Oh,
Or,
of course, yeah.
but I think it was more so at one time. It was a lot more open minded. People like just genres of music. Like it was okay to listen to guitar industrial and listen to like electronic industrial.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
today it's like people. If I listen to Agritech, I'm not listening to anything else.
Right.
Not
I
to
see.
listen
Yeah.
to guitar music, and it's gotten very clicky, and that's killing the
Can't.
thing.
That's a in my mind, and I'm just me, that there's some validity to that, for sure. You do see a lot of that. I don't know whether you want to say a lot, but there is some strong purist.
Purist. Yeah. I only stick to my own genre.
Keepers and so forth. Yeah. And, that's fine. Everybody has their own thing, but keeping in mind that, as you experienced, and I know I did, way back, started this, one of the things that was really unique was all these different types of people, and all the freaks and the outcasts and the social rejects all getting together under an umbrella and hanging out in places and calling it home, sticking up for each other, making sure they all got home safe. And it didn't matter whether you were a goth or you were a rivet head.
Right.
Or you were
even the goth scene, right?
You know what I mean? That's kind of the way it was. And I see what you mean there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was around in the '90s, like involved in the scene too.
Mm-hmm.
The people, they were definitely, well, people were different then than they are now, and just in general, attitudes have changed in so many different ways. But I don't think, I don't know how sincere a lot of people that are into industrial music are now. I really don't know if they really like the music or it's just the soundtrack to their lives. Especially if you go by Facebook, it's gotten so narcissistic in a way. It's hard to know, like, it's just hard to build a fan base, because of people. That's another thing, there's so many bands that, they get bombarded. Every single person on, let's say, Facebook gets bombarded by so many invites to listen to their band that they don't want to give anyone a chance. Just basically, band, and that hurts anyone that actually has something to offer, And I'm not suggesting us, but I'm saying any band.
Yeah, sure. I get it. For sure.
Offer. They won't give them a chance, because they're tired of bands that don't have anything to offer.
Exactly.
To listen to me,
There needs to be, more platforms and more ways to get you in front of people so they know,
really.
Especially great bands. I happen to think you're a great band, so I think that's good.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that's really flattering and very appreciated.
Yeah. I think we should do another song, and I don't know. I'll make sure I haven't missed any other questions. They got you got a response saying amazing. Thank you for the answer. Okay. Nope. Okay, so let's go to the next track. And hopefully I can get that video going properly where I was having it was all working earlier. That wasn't it was me.
Is that the promo
The
video?
sound wasn't coming out, so I'm gonna while I'm playing this, I'm gonna see what I can figure out here. All right. And dead circuit or restrict?
I'd say restrict.
Yeah.
You know, that's up to
Yeah.
you, whatever you
Too
want.
restrict.
All right.
There's no way out of here.
my mic back on. That song kicks as well, like every other song. Awesome. We got a couple more questions in. Actually, we got one from Chris EBM himself, and actually, I think we got two from him. What's your favorite experience from touring?
Well, we don't have a lot of experience at touring. We've never done a tour of any
Like
kind.
a full tour, yeah.
No, we've just had select gigs. We haven't played out all that many times. You know, just getting gigs is really tough.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's like also you know, like William Zimmerman. You know,
Yep.
Williams.
Yeah.
He's the one that helped promote this album. So we really just got on the map.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, with this album, you know, we got like some attention. So, you know, before that, we weren't getting much attention at all. Getting gigs was almost impossible.
I remember
so,
when that.
you know, but we've played a few places. So I can't say we have tons of experience. You know, I mean, I've experience with other things in other bands
Yeah.
as a bass player, but
as a lifetime musician, what's your favorite concert touring experience?
Seeing 9 Inch Nails, you know, if that's what you mean, you know,
play.
That was a highlight to my life,
Sure.
seeing that at the time.
Yeah.
Just playing, just as a bass player. I mean, I was in like a bunch of like pretty popular cover bands, and I've played all kinds of music, you know, like I've been playing bass a long time, and, you know, still practice like 5 or 6 hours a night. Sometimes I'll practice all night. You know, I just love the instrument. I have lots of different experiences, but it's also different genres of music as a bass player,
Sure.
which I don't really want to, you know, get into now.
That's fine.
This is not, I mean, I love the instrument, but yet I don't get to play it, you know, in this band. It's all synth bass.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know,
You're not able to Bootsy Collins it up here, right?
No, not at all. But I have been in jazz bands and everything as a bass player. I mean,
that's actually really cool. That's some tricky stuff. And what about you, Emma?
Well, no, I haven't
No.
been in as many ventures as Sid has, but I don't know. I think every time we have played out, it's, you know, every time it's a learning experience. And,
Yeah.
And yeah, actually, I don't know.
You know, we're learning. You know, we're still like developing ourselves as Malice Machine. You know,
Right.
Yeah, I wish I could say we had tons of like gigs and you know, more than anything. But, you know, like I said, we just got on the map with this album thanks to William.
Yeah.
We got some attention from DJs and, you know, like Scott Durand and Tommy Rapasardi plays us every week.
Yeah.
You know, so if it wasn't for the COVID thing, I'm sure we would have a lot. You know, we would be playing a lot. I might have a lot of stories.
Yeah, it's the timing is actually, and this is a great example of some of the worst timing, because I remember when this album came out, and seeing the effects of William there as well. Just how many articles were coming out and the positive response, and that was part of what made me go, wow, I really have to check this out, right? Cool. So
they've been kind to, you know, the reviews have been pretty kind. You know, they've I mean for us it was a new experience getting any kind of attention. You know, it's like, you know, like a lot of bands just struggling to get, you know, some exposure. You know,
certainly deleting spam. It's pretty interesting though that you guys, is even the response, I mean, even with William's help, the response was still large for a new band that people weren't aware of. Like, it's the music's powerful. People, as soon as you hear it, you can't, yeah, you know you're hearing something that's really good.
I guess we've achieved something then, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When you know, as an artist of any sort, you yourself,
Mm-hmm.
when you do something, you're just not sure how people are going to receive it, you know, and you're prepared for anything, you know, like, okay, this sucks,
Mm-hmm.
or, you know, yeah, we were just so happy that people kind of dug it, you know. And William said that we had the fastest. I didn't know what the word drop meant.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody said we were the fastest he's ever had or seen. You know, DJs kind of latched on to Prototype.
Yeah, right away. The same,
you know,
yeah,
and
for sure.
you can even restrict, you know, somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
And got a lot of it, you know, got around, you know, and it's a start. You know, it's a start to things.
Yeah, he's a guy that knows what he's doing. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's great. William's great.
And when I think about it, yeah, that's exactly how you guys got me. Like, that's how you got my ear, for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we're with William forever. You know, he's going to be releasing this album, and we have some other projects we're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, out of the industrial scene.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be involved with those too.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that he was talking about managing,
mm-hmm.
and we were discussing that. You know, us and a few other bands.
Well, that would be quite the that'd be quite the
man.
That'd be awesome.
He's got long fingers. He's got a good reach.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, with him, we got like a lot of people from Germany that seem to like us.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about some of these other the projects that you're working on, or?
Yeah, I think, you know, I mean, I love industrial, but I love goth. We're doing a goth project called Murder of Ravens,
mm-hmm.
which is a lot more mellow, a more you know, maybe a bit Sisters of Mercy, and like you know, just really Dead Can Dance almost side, you know, with female singer and male female singer. And also we're doing an agrotech project. We have the songs written, like 5 of them, you know, just pure agrotech.
Oh, really? Eh?
Mm-hmm.
Like some real, just straight.
Yeah, real straight. I mean, as agrotech as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're doing like a dark wave retro 80s thing, which is completely different. You know, it's very melodic, it's just very 80s.
Okay.
You know, just, you know, I mean, why not? You know, like if you're able to write it, why not put it out? You know.
Mm-hmm. And do you have got names yet for the projects? You got the
Ravens? Murder of Ravens.
Murder of Ravens. That's the goth one.
Yeah, we're like not sure. We have so many different names for the 80s thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna go with. I mean, we don't know what we're gonna do with the 80s, you know, project thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, call it yet. We're working on it. The agrotech thing, we're gonna go with Havoc Code. But the thing is, there's so many code bands out there now.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like turned me off to it. Just like there's so many machine bands out there now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's something machine everywhere you look.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was, you know, trying to avoid that. Might call it T-34, which is like a old
T-34
World War II Russian tank.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. We have different names we're talking with.
So you haven't
But the
decided
songs
on the
are
agrotech.
done. Yeah, they're all done for all the projects. They just haven't been completely fleshed out yet. You know, all completely, like vocals have been done.
Right. So they haven't been mixed, but they've been tracked, kind of thing.
Yeah, everything's tracked.
Yeah, and the vocals are kind of tracked, but not finished, kind of thing.
Fairly confident in them. I think they're not. You know, naturally you got to have some faith in yourself.
Of course.
I think they you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But right now we're putting out a new Malice Machine album. So
that's beyond exciting, man. Do you know what the name of it's going to be?
No, we haven't really, you know, put a name to it or done the artwork yet. But just finishing up on the songs are all done. I did some vocals to them and just decided to do them again because they weren't, I don't know, they just didn't like hit me the way I wanted them to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm redoing those few songs that I did do.
Mm-hmm.
And we're focusing more on stuff like Corpse Painter, you know,
Okay.
more songs like that, you know,
Oh,
and
I
that,
love that.
you know, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Now I know you guys. We talked about it earlier, but I just want to recap because you know we have new people that have been coming in and so on and so forth. Where are you guys hailing from? Where's home? Well, where's home now?
Well, I'm from Long Island, you know, in New York. She's originally from Japan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was born in Japan, and I met her in California.
Okay.
You know, telling her.
And where are you guys? Where are you now?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that what you
Yes.
asked? Oh, forgive me. PA, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. For better or for worse, up in the mountains.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's also far away from everything.
Yeah.
So good with the bad, right? I mean,
Well,
we can't
that's
play
it.
around.
It's the trade-off, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, less humans means you're farther away, but then again, it's less humans. But
Yeah. Exactly. So it would be cool to live closer to the city, but we lived in New York for like a number of years, and just couldn't afford to live in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to leave. You know, it was just too expensive. And actually, we never got further than Queens, New York,
Okay.
where we lived.
Mm-hmm.
Never made it to New York City. It was just too expensive.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, when we lived in Queens, we were like rehearsing in this tiny little apartment that had nothing but roaches and no heat and was mad expensive. And now we came to PA and we kind of own our own house, you know, so.
That's amazing. Well done.
Right there,
well
right?
done. Now, is that a name? I think that could be a good name for a song. No Heat and Roaches.
Yeah, it's just another experience of, yeah, it's another thing to chalk up to some song, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
But it just hasn't come out yet. I think that's the way it is for everybody in Queens, unless you have a lot of money. You
Yeah.
know, didn't at the time.
Right.
So it's just and a slumlord, basically, you know, landlord.
Mm-hmm.
But we spent a lot of years there, you know, trying to do something. But I noticed the New York scene slowly dried up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially industrial, it just faded. You know,
Right.
and there was no reason to stay there anymore. You know,
Interesting.
like you said, Toronto. I mean, it's, you informed me that
Toronto's,
Toronto's a good place to be.
Yeah, Toronto's changed a lot from when I was young, and doing performing and all those good things. But it's because the same thing happened, you know, with segmentation and all of that, and we don't have any full-time alternative clubs anymore, right? Whereas we used to be full of them. But we do certainly continue to have very open-minded music venues and so forth that cater to everybody, right? So that's
cool.
That's a benefit, you know. But
Yeah.
I'd listen
You're not so
to see, yeah, you know,
You know, New York and Philadelphia, and there's very few places to play.
Mhm.
There's and we can't get a gig in the local bar down the street. They would just stare at us like, "What the fuck are you?"
Mhm.
You know, I mean, it's just not going to happen
Yeah.
for us. You know, so we have to play in our environment. You know,
that's it.
and there's not many places to play, and they're all being bombarded by so many bands right now that it's not easy to get a gig. You know,
Right.
everybody wants to play at these very few places, like one or two in Philly, if
Right.
even that.
So, and
And
you're
me-
saying that the bars aren't like a concert venue isn't necessarily open to all kinds of music. It's more the kind of
No.
music they do.
No, certainly not anywhere near here. We'd have to go towards the city
Okay.
to play. you know, to find something.
We got another
like-
question. What do you think the future of agrotech in the next 10 years looks like?
That's a good question. It seems like agrotech has gone on for a long time. It's not changing much.
Mhm.
I mean, there's always new listeners, but I would hate to see it become like rap. You know, rap has just been going on forever. I mean, people's grandparents listen to rap at this point. You know, it's just been going on forever and ever without a lot. I mean, let's face it, not a lot of evolution. You know,
I'd argue that there's been a fair amount, but
there's still a lot that are doing the same type of thing.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. There are. Oh, there's always people doing something fresh.
Yeah, that's it. And it's probably the same. I would think, you know, agrotech, you probably.
Yeah, it just doesn't ever really evolve, you know. And I'm guilty too. Like the album we're gonna put out is definitely in this. You know, I mean, all you can hope for is that your style is you got a style to you. You know that people dig.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Well,
like I love Hosico.
yeah.
You know, if you've ever heard, I think they're a great band.
Yeah.
And as far as agrotech goes, where other, you know, agrotech things just sound so the same.
Mhm.
You know, they just don't stand out.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think it needs an infusion of something fresh things, you know.
I mean, I've heard some agrotech does seem to be shifting.
Yeah.
That's
I haven't heard it.
seems to be moving. Well, I wouldn't say away, but it's opening. The vocals aren't quite just the same. Everybody has
Yeah, like
distortion
a
vocals.
Boss SE50 vocal effect.
Speeds are varying. There's more, you know, a bit more dynamics.
Really?
And how things are going. And I've heard a couple and they're not all the same BPM or whatever. I've heard a couple really kind of cool newer tracks that maybe that's the direction it's going. I have no idea, but
I mean, it depends on how it's accepted by the agrotech crowd.
community, right?
Oh, and
right.
I'm not sure how open-minded they are, you know.
Right.
But then again, a lot of it's in Europe,
Mhm.
the agrotech, and you know that's just a different category altogether. Europe is real cool.
Mhm.
You know, I talked to, like I said, Mark Fox from War Machine.
Yeah.
You know, and he plays in Europe a lot, and they're pretty open-minded to like the whole industrial thing. And
Oh yeah.
agrotech is pretty big there.
Mhm.
America, probably not as much, you know, like Combi Christ, you know, is pretty well known here, you know, and you know, but it's not I don't think it's a huge scene here, you know, but not saying there's not a lot of listeners, but you know, it's not a booming scene, you know,
Right.
at least not in America that I know of.
Yeah, I mean, I from what I can tell, it's obviously it doesn't seem to be quite what it was in the 2000s, like, you know,
Right.
2003 to 2013 kind of thing.
Yeah. It was probably really booming then.
Yeah.
But I like the music. I really
For sure.
I really like the sound, and I do love the Boss SE50 vocal effect. But I guess I know enough to keep away from it now. I mean, I have two of them, you know, two of those units, you know, and I could easily do that whispery, evil vocal. But you know, I think it also, you know, you need to have some kind of personality in your vocals.
Right. It's
So
I mean, do you find? I mean, at least, and I don't know whether this is a question, but it's certainly again a bit of an observation on my part, because it seems that everything evolves. And, you know, whether it's agrotech or it's, you know, industrial or it's metal or rock, whatever, that everything evolves and it goes through various rotations of what's popular, you know, and maybe that agrotech crowd, and maybe that's it. Like maybe if there's something that changes, moves to, you're right, that maybe that traditional kind of agrotech crowd isn't gonna like it, but maybe it'll have its whole new kind of audience, right? Like,
Well, that would be awesome, you know. I mean, the energy of Agrotech is amazing sometimes. I mean, it really brings you up. It's like a rise. You know, and that's what I have loved about it, you know.
Yeah.
It's just constant energy, you know.
Yeah.
And
It's-
you know,
everything's the evolution. Yeah, I do. I love that. I love that. You know, head kick. Like it's just right there, the energy hits you, and you're just like,
yeah.
You just can't help
Just,
it. You're
just constantly into it, you know. It's like one song after another, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's not a music that we're really serious about, but you know, if people like, you know, the Agrotech thing that we may do, we might continue it, or just stop from there, you know, just to get it out of my system.
Yeah, or maybe it's not actually. Who knows? Maybe it's not actually Agrotech. Maybe that's the closest thing you can think of to describe it.
Right, maybe that's what I believe Agrotech is, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. You know, that's pretty awesome. I'd be really excited to hear that little adventure into.
well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, we have each song is an EP. We have all the songs written for all the different projects.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's just it's a matter of putting them out, and William's got to have advanced time to
Yes.
promote them. You
Plan
know,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
pretty
and it
awesome.
also would cost a fortune to do all these projects at once. So we're one at a time.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
for sure. Awesome. Let me see if I got any new questions. We got where you're based. What? They asked what the Agrotech voice effect. What was that? Repeat again. It's the Boss.
Oh, the Boss SE50.
The Boss
It's an old-
SE50.
SE50. It's
Yeah.
an old. It was an old guitar processor, probably from the late '80s, that every Agrotech, you know, singer uses. It's you use a certain pitch shifting effect in there. It's one particular program in the whole guitar processor. It's the only one that you would use.
It's like a dual pitch shifter kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a dual pitch shifter. It's got four. It's capable of pitching it 4 times, so you can get that kind of vocal. Yeah, every single Agrotech singer in the world knows what the Boss SE50 is.
Yeah.
But
Fair enough.
yeah.
We got another one. Let's see here. What does the 2022 gig lineup look like? You got any outlook on some possibilities? It's just hard to tell because of COVID, or
Yeah, it's just hard to tell right now. I mean, like I said, we've lost out on some really cool invitations to play. Enough to where I want to cut my wrists. You know, it's like, man, you know, it's like we finally get these opportunities to play, and like we can't. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I know that we'll be doing virtual stuff. You know, virtual gigs.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
You know, hopefully soon.
Hopefully.
I mean, I want to come to Toronto. We want to go to Toronto and play. You know,
that'd be awesome.
There's so many places that we would definitely love to play.
Oh
there.
yeah, that'd be awesome. That would.
Maybe we can talk about it in the future.
Yeah, for sure, man. We
did get invited to play in Texas. You know, by Marty Red Dagger.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, okay.
That's a big jump from PA to Texas. You know, for a gig.
Mm-hmm.
But how much do we want to play?
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to have you here. Let me see here. We'll someone saying we'll be here when you start touring. I'd love to see you all live. Just terrible time for everybody. Yeah, they're telling you about commenting on COVID.
It is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we practice all the time. We on the stage Ammo built.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all, we have a lighted stage and everything. I mean, we rehearse everything. We're rehearsing our like whole set. We're ready to go. You know, we're ready to play. We feel pretty confident that we put on a pretty good show. It's just a matter of being able to do it. You know.
Yep.
We'll see.
I get it. I get it. So I'm going to, unless there is another question, no. I'm going to play another song, and hopefully I'm going to be able to set up your video for the Newman cover.
Okay.
You guys cool with that one, or do you want me to?
Yeah,
because they
sure.
already played the other song, so I thought, yeah.
Yeah, cool, man.
Yeah, right on. Okay, so this would be Dead Circuit. That's the one we have left, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. We're going to give Dead Circuit a spin. Get down. really quickly, I have the video for Down in the Park queued here, guys. And I'm going to give everybody a look at it. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Electronic body memes. Fabulous, right? So I'm going to let everybody see your video, your cover here, Down in the Park. Really excited to play this for everybody. Here we go. Holy. Pretty friggin' awesome. And now I just lost you on my other screen over here. 1 second. I just gotta pull you back in.
Sean,
I don't know why it does that, but
Sean,
yeah.
was that lagging? I mean, that video lagged like massively from when we were watching.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was just lagging like through the whole thing.
But going slowly?
Oh yeah, it was just like freezing frames.
Oh yeah, it wasn't doing that here.
Really? I wonder why.
Yeah. Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. It should be fine. 1 second. And properties. Ba-doo-doo. All right. Okay, and so we're back. And yeah, no, it sounded good. Actually, Chris, EBM just said it was all good out there. So, and yep, electronic body meme as well. There was a bunch of awesome updates I should give you here. Great video, great tune. I saw some stuff. Can't wait to see you in DC. We love you, Malice Machine. Yeah, I love this. Yeah, so I think it's safe to say that yeah, that people hear you, and as soon as they hear you, they know they're onto something special, man.
That's news to me.
Well,
Really, I
tell you,
mean,
man.
I don't want to come across like insecure or anything. I mean, everybody has insecurities, but you know, I was just wondering why. Like, I was just kind of wondering if anybody was listening at all, or anybody even cared.
Yeah.
That's just the truth. It's like it's hard to know like how your stuff's gonna go over, man.
Yeah, man.
It could just be bypassed really easily. Like our last album was just bypassed like crazy.
Yeah.
And we got good reviews, and just nobody listened, or nobody bought it from Bandcamp, or so I just assumed it probably sucked. I mean, it's the first thing you think. It's just not good enough. So you're always kind of striving to do better the next time. And maybe that's a bad attitude, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's a healthy attitude.
Striving to be better is always good. But at the same time, you guys, and I understand that for sure, that frustration. And we're in the insecurity for sure. But you know what? I think I can tell you, and that, yeah, man, you guys, you got something right there. And not only that, you slide with different influences, and the way you draw from those, that's what makes something unique, right? You're not a one-trick pony.
Yeah, I think I love the things that I'm influenced by so much that I can't help but want to be inspired by it. And that's a fear too. Like I said in the past, it's been things weren't cohesive enough. We were worried about keeping things flowing, like we were saying, the flow. And being influenced by so many things, it's easy to want to go in different directions. And maybe that's why I'm doing so many different projects now.
Hey, guess what? Yep, that's excellent. Chris McCarthy Dean. Let me tell you, he just said send them some promo, and they'll do a EBM EBM Worldwide. We'll do a listening party for you.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And you just had a bunch of people say, well, you definitely got some fans now, and
Cool.
and
It means everything, actually.
they get to know
really
you.
does.
You're not like a Facebook notice. That no matter how many people are watching, not watching, when someone watches this and they get to know you, right? So
Yeah,
awesome.
I guess so. I don't think we'll always be like grateful that anyone even listens. I mean, when any art form, you just hope that people actually, you do it for yourself ultimately.
Yeah.
And I do. If no one ever listened, I would still want to do music because I just have to. But when people listen, it just makes it that much. It means the world, It always will, And bands that have gotten too big and don't appreciate that anymore are crazy. Just become so vain and I don't think we ever, even if we were popular, I think we'd still be the same people.
Yeah. So the connections that happen in the music, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're just about approaching 9. That went by really quick, eh?
Yeah, it did.
Considering
Yeah.
it's 2 hours instead of 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was pretty fast.
Yeah. I want to say thank you, you guys. I really
Thank
appreciate
you,
you coming
Sean.
on.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
Because you guys,
Well, cool that you did this. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, we're very grateful.
forever.
Yeah.
That's my pleasure, man. My pleasure for sure. And thanks again to EBM Worldwide, Chris, who's in here.
Yeah, thank him too. And we definitely
He can hear you.
hope to communicate.
I'll outside of
Glad
this, we'll get you all hooked up and
Okay, cool.
yeah, for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah, thanks again, Chris. Amazing. And anybody else? They're all saying thank you. Anybody else
Thank
have
you.
any final questions or thoughts for our guests? We just got thank yous. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Great to meet you from Chris EBM, Chris McCarthy Dean.
Likewise,
Yeah.
both of us.
Oh, you're welcome, Seraphine. All right. I think we'll wrap up with that, guys. And thanks again. This was great. It was amazing getting to know you guys.
Same.
Yeah, definitely gonna be in touch with you outside of this because you guys kick some serious ass for sure.
Man.
For sure. All right. Have a great night.
You too, Sean.
All right, good night.
Thanks everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Take care, man. Bye now. And I am going to end the meeting. And let's see. I'm going to throw on one last song. One last song. What do you guys think over in the gallery over here? One last song?
You say you had New World Order lined up?
Oh, yeah. How about I do that? Okay.
It doesn't, not a lot of people get to hear that.
Yeah. How about I play their video, their cover of New World Order, which is, in my opinion, better than the original. That'd be kind of cool.
Wow.
I said that out loud. That wasn't my internal voice, right?
Yeah. I don't know about that, but
Yeah. And it'll be louder than my dog that's starting to freak out. I just got to bring that up because we're kind of doing this one on the fly. I hadn't brought that one out here yet. Let's go here. Videos. All right. Oh, that sound? That meant somebody just joined the stream as a follower.
wow. Cool, man.
Yeah. So let's go to where is it? New World Order. New World Order. Right on. You did something. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay, so we shall do a share screen and burper. Mm-hmm.
I think you got Park up.
Yep.
about the same as what we would spend over the course of 10 years. It would cost what it would cost us.
A new world order.
No, 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 we can't.
A new world order. 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 A new world order.
Hey everybody, thanks so much. Really appreciate all of you guys coming out. That was amazing. It was really cool to have a 2-hour interview with Malice Machine. Really cool people, as you saw. Really amazing. So please get out and support those guys. They could use it. And as you can see, they are amazing, and they're exactly, the mission that we're all on. They're exactly it. Really amazing musicians that need some exposure and really deserve it because they're killer. All right, so that's it, everybody. Have yourself a great evening, and thanks so much. Don't forget, Sunday, Zwar Machine, Mock Fox of Zwar Machine, Fox Nova Project, and his solo work as Mock Fox. That will be amazing. So don't miss that one. And of course, Friday, our regular stream, pounding out the underground music, and come join me for that. Get some new tunes, some old classics, rarities, and some crazy antics from the regular crew in the chat. All right, have a great night.